This is a zombie apocalypse movie with a fantastic cast.
Yep.
Adam Driver, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Chloe Sevigny, yourself. Jim Jarmusch directed it. This is not a man who is known for his zombie films.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
By the way, that clip was just from footage of my house upstate.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got that. That's
I'm
me
so
every
sorry.
morning.
I'm so sorry. They told us that was from the movie, but that's actual documentary film footage of you
Yes.
and your farm life. I feel terrible. We have violated your privacy,
okay.
and I apologize. But you do play a farmer, and you sort of I guess that's what that clip tells us. You might realize something's wrong because your animals go missing.
Something's going on in the town.
Yeah.
It's very troubling. Yes.
There's a lot of prosthetic, as you would expect, from a zombie film. Did you enjoy that part of the job?
No.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, everybody's nice, and but it takes a long time
Yeah.
to put the makeup on, and then you look like a zombie, and nobody wants to talk to you, really.
Did you feel the same way about your cast members who were zombies? You didn't.
Well, Chloe Sevigny is in the film, and I hadn't seen her in a long time, and we were catching up, but and I, having a serious conversation, but I couldn't look her in the eye because literally her eye was like falling out of her head. I had to stop talking to
Yeah,
her.
it's very hard to with somebody you haven't seen in 10 years, and you have to say you look great.
Right.
You haven't aged a day with like a dead lolling eye. Bill Murray's one of your co-stars. Have you worked together before? Or?
Never.
But you did.
No.
You auditioned for him.
I did. He co-directed a film, Quick Change.
Yeah, fantastic film.
And I auditioned for it. I didn't get the part, but he told me when I came in that he said, we looked at your picture, and you sort of look like a psycho, and you come in here and you really do look like a psycho. He says most people don't look like their pictures.
That's so nice.
said,
But this
"Thank
is true. This in your early days, you had 2 headshots.
I did, yeah.
And so you would decide based on the role whether to send out the psycho one.
Well, I didn't think I looked like a psycho.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, here, this is obviously your...
Yeah, that's like, like the boy next door.
Boy next door.
know.
And this is the guy who maybe has some trouble with the boy next door.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same guy, but very different
But
parts.
here's the weird thing. That's how I really preferred to look. Like it was the 80s, so
Yeah.
I had a lot of hair gel.
A lot of hair gel.
That's how I walked around, yeah.
You found your first, this is your first, what would you say, your acting resume? Is that?
Yeah.
And you'd not a lot going on here.
No, it's very slight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it true that you, because you did some stand-up comedy.
I did.
But in your early days, you actually thought there was a chance ventriloquism was a thing you took.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be in show business.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily know like how to be an actor, but I figured you got to know a lot of stuff. So I learned how to juggle. I learned how to ride a unicycle. And then for a little while, I thought, ventriloquism, that's my ticket.
And then did you realize that it was the 80s and none of those skills actually mattered anymore?
I was so disappointed. Yeah. Years of training. Yeah.
But then the good news was you thought, oh, you wasted all that time learning how to do that stuff. And in the end, they were like, you know what, it's good though. You look a little bit like a psycho. We can use that. So you were doing stand-up, and at the same time that you were doing stand-up and you were acting, you were also a fireman.
I was. Yeah.
And not like a volunteer fireman. You were an actual fireman.
Yeah, at Engine 55 in Manhattan, and I did that. Thank you. Yeah. I kind of kept it under wraps. I mean, I had done a little bit of stand-up, and then I got called for the job, so I stopped doing stand-up, and I was like the quietest guy in the firehouse because you didn't want to give these guys any ammunition to make fun of you.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like.
So you would never say like with everybody like, did anybody else here ride a unicycle? You wouldn't, yeah.
And there was another firefighter that was an actor who worked in another firehouse. His name was Dean Tulipane, and they made fun of him like night and day, And so I definitely wasn't going to tell anybody that and then I met him, and because I lived in the East Village, he knew something was up. He said, what are you? You must be something. Musician? Are you an actor? And I admitted that I was an actor, or that I wanted to be an actor. And then, so the cat was out of the bag.
And then they found out.
And then they tortured me.
They tortured you. But you met, is it true that you met Jim Jarmusch, the director of this film, as a stand-up?
Well, yes, I was doing, not stand-up. I had a partner, Mark Boone Jr., and we used to
Who's a
write-
great actor.
He's a wonderful actor. And we used to write and perform our own material, and we used to do this show. There was a comedian called Rockets Red Glare.
Okay.
Did you ever know him?
No, Rockets, his name was Rockets Red Glare?
Rockets Red Glare.
Okay.
And he used to do...
Got to go into comedy with a name like that, I mean.
And he had a show called Rockets Red Glare's Taxi Cabaret, and Boone and I would perform in that. And Jim used to see us in that, and that's how he cast me in one of his early films, Mystery Train.
Yeah.
And then right after Mystery Train, the day we wrapped, the next day we filmed a little short that he used for Coffee and Cigarettes years later. But I hadn't worked with him in 30 years.
That's fantastic.
And,
It's a great film. It's great to see you guys collaborate again. It's always such a pleasure to have you here, Steve.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.